An Enemy of the People, Part 5. Hosted. Why not? Petra. Because it conflicts with all your opinions. Hosted. Oh, for that matter. Petra. You don't understand me. The burden of this story is that there is a supernatural power that looks after the so-called good people in this world and makes everything happen for the best in their case, while all the so-called bad people are punished. Hosted. Well, but that is all right. That is just what our readers want. Petra. And are you going to be the one to give it to them? For myself, I do not believe a word of it. You know quite well that things do not happen so in reality. Hosted. You are perfectly right, but an editor cannot always act as he would prefer. He is often obliged to bow to the wishes of the public in unimportant matters. Politics are the most important thing in life, for a newspaper anyway, and if I want to carry my public with me on the path that leads to liberty and progress, I must not frighten them away. If they find a moral tale of this sort in the serial at the bottom of the page, they will be all the more ready to read what is printed above it. They feel more secure, as it were. Petra. For shame, you would never go and set a snare like that for your readers. You are not a spider. Hosted, smiling. Thank you for having such a good opinion of me. No, as a matter of fact, that is Billings' idea and not mine. Petra. Billings? Hosted. Yes, anyway he propounded that theory here one day. And it is Billing who is so anxious to have that story in the paper. I don't know anything about the book. Petra. But how can Billing, with his emancipated views? Hosted. Oh, Billing is a many-sided man. He is applying for the post of secretary to the bench too, I hear. Petra. I don't believe it, Mr. Hosted. How could he possibly bring himself to do such a thing? Hosted. Ah, you must ask him that. Petra. I should never have thought it of him. Hosted. Looking more closely at her. No? Does it really surprise you so much? Petra. Yes, or perhaps not altogether. Really, I don't quite know. Hosted. We journalists are not much worth, Miss Stockman. Petra. Do you really mean that? Hosted. I think so sometimes. Petra. Yes, in the ordinary affairs of everyday life, perhaps. I can understand that. But now when you have taken a weighty matter in hand. Hosted. This matter of your father's, you mean? Petra. Exactly. It seems to me that now you must feel you are a man worth more than most. Hosted. Yes, today I do feel something of that sort. Petra. Of course you do, don't you? It is a splendid vocation you have chosen, to smooth the way for the march of unappreciated truths and new and courageous lines of thought, if it were nothing more. Nothing more than because you stand fearlessly in the open and take up the cause of an injured man. Hosted. Especially when that injured man is... I don't rightly know how to... Petra. When that man is so upright and so honest, you mean? Hosted. More gently. Especially when he is your father, I meant. Petra suddenly checked. That? Hosted. Yes, Petra, Miss Petra. Petra. Is it that? That is first and foremost with you? Not the matter itself? Not the truth, but not my father's big generous heart? Hosted. Certainly, of course, that too. Petra. No, thank you. You have betrayed yourself, Mr. Hosted, and now I shall never trust you again in anything. Hosted. Can you really take it so amiss in me that it is mostly for your sake? Petra. What I am angry with you for is for not having been honest with my father. You talk to him as if the truth and the good of the community were what lay nearest to your heart. You have made fools of both my father and me. You are not the man you made yourself out to be, and I shall never forgive you, never. Hosted. You ought not to speak so bitterly, Miss Petra. Least of all now, Petra. Why not now, especially? Hosted. Because your father cannot do without my help. Petra, looking him up and down. Are you that sort of man too? For shame. Hosted. No, I am not. This came upon me so unexpectedly. You must believe that. Petra, I know what to believe. Goodbye. Aslaxon, coming from the printing room hurriedly and with an air of mystery. Damnation, Hosted, sees Petra. Oh, this is awkward. Petra, there is the book. You must give it to someone else. Goes towards the door. Hosted, following her. But Miss Stockman, Petra, goodbye. Goes out. Aslaxon, I say, Mr. Hosted. Hosted, well, what is it? Aslaxon, the mayor is outside in the printing room. Hosted, the mayor, did you say? Aslaxon, yes, he wants to speak to you. He came in by the back door. Didn't want to be seen, you understand? Hosted, what can he want? Wait a bit, I will go myself. Goes to the door of the printing room, opens it, bows and invites Peter Stockman in. Just see Aslaxon that no one. Aslaxon, quite so. Goes into the printing room. Peter Stockman, you did not expect to see me here, Mr. Hosted? Hosted, no, I confess I did not. Peter Stockman, looking around. You are very snug in here. Very nice indeed. Hosted, oh. Peter Stockman, and here I come without any notice to take up your time. Hosted, by all means, Mr. Mayor, I am at your service. But let me relieve you of your. Takes Stockman's hat and sticks and puts them on a chair. Won't you sit down?